Good afternoon. My name is Chris Babson, and I'm the Director of Worldwide Education Portfolio Strategy here at Lenovo. I really want to thank you for joining today, where I can have a chance to speak with you about Lenovo enabling learning everywhere and moving a smarter way forward. As you know, education has undergone a significant change in the last year. As we look at how classes were before COVID in Japan, in Tunisia, and in Morocco, we can see similarities with children being close and in their classrooms with their teachers. As we move forward with Denmark during COVID, we see a stark difference. In China, the distance is noticeable, and the way that we have to educate is changing. Over the last year, we've seen a rapid and ongoing shift to remote learning. At the height of the pandemic, 1.6 billion learners and 90% of total enrolled concerning coronavirus. The instructional future and this uncertainty is being called the lost years, and institutions are scrambling to prevent learning loss. Some areas worldwide are heading back to school, while some are seeing a second wave, and some are still dealing with wave one and have experienced a full break in learning. Through this pandemic, we understand that educational continuity is a key priority, and institutions must be ready for anything. We are seeing students and educators looking for the right technology. IT departments for universities and K-12 school districts are facing multiple concerns in looking at adapting to the challenges that have been brought by COVID-19. Whether that's having the right technologies for remote learning, or having to manage multiple platforms and supporting and deploying devices, and then securing those devices, or just having the right software to enable teaching and learning. We're seeing a number of global trends in education as the shift to distance, hybrid, and high flex learning is accelerating one-to-one deployments of technology. This acceleration is leading to challenges like student safety and device security with filtering and management. The teaching methods are struggling to keep up with the technologies. Wireless connectivity is moving mainstream. AR and VR experiments continue. And IoT devices, this Internet of Things, continues to expand. But at Lenovo, our vision is that there is a smarter way forward. Our vision expresses the long-term aspiration of what value Lenovo brings to the world. And in a nutshell, we want to help our customers plot this smarter way forward. We envision a future where all Lenovo technologies, even our most basic, starts smart and becomes more intelligent with each new release. This is a major step forward from today and will exponentially increase the value that Lenovo brings to our customers in education. We want to build connections that inspire learning, collaborate beyond the classroom, and then adapt to this shifting environment at home, at school, and even in a hybrid space. This instructional continuity requires flexibility. To start forward, we need a direction. And these are some of the different ways which education is trending, dictated by the pandemic. We have distance learning, which is asynchronous. It's flexible, but it's separated and can be very individualized. We have hybrid learning, which is synchronous, but it's rotational. It's flexible and structured, and it can be very collaborative if done correctly. And then we have the model that we really hope to get back to one day, which is that face-to-face instruction, which is traditional, synchronous, collaborative, and structured. We're working with our partners and customers to enable them to maximize whichever style of learning they're faced with. We're doing this by enabling whichever tools they have deployed. All of these methods have merit and each has its own strength. However, in this time of isolation and separation, enabling a hybrid model allows for the greatest flexibility for students in terms of learning style, their scheduling needs, and their lifestyles. It promotes enrollment both on campus as well as remote. It supports students' independence as learners. At the same time, it can reduce the number of students in class for effective social distancing and prepare students and teachers for a return to a more optimal face-to-face environment. The need and the ability to respond to the need for a strong education technology partners is paramount. And we're shifting our focus to be an end-to-end model for our partners and customers. As you can see, we are trying to pull education together as a solution, incorporating all of the key features that are required for education. To address these trends, we do start with the device. If you know Lenovo, you know that devices are what we do best. We have a traditional portfolio for K through 12 where we balance the cost savings with performance and durability. Looking at new things like dual cameras to allow for distance learning and collaboration. But building these sturdy devices that when they're deployed for one-to-one directly to students that have to go home or go to remote environments, they're protected from impacts, from water. The keys are anchored. We understand that small hands are very curious and we want to make sure that those keys stay in place. And we have cool tools that drive learning and curiosity, like integrated stylus, touch. The big thing for us, we are seeing a greater need throughout our device portfolio for connectivity. Not all students have internet at home. There's a reliance on mobile 4G. And for 2021, we are pulling that into our portfolio. So we'll see that as an option as we move forward. New devices are also gaining traction. Our 10e Chrome tablet is the first education tablet with Chrome, ruggedized for the classroom with a bright panel, an optional keyboard folio with extremely long battery life, and a world-facing camera. This is really designed for learners in K through 3 to have a Chrome experience that is touch-enabled. With students and teachers in multiple locations, we're seeing a rise in multiple device solutions. Mobile devices are great tools, but we're seeing a growth in devices like our Tiny-in-One. That allows for a better remote teaching and learning experience with really good ergonomics. It has wireless connectivity and integrated camera, speakers, and microphones, all in a space-saving design with more screen real estate so you can enhance your productivity. The monitor itself is ergonomic and has a blue light reduction on the panel. So it's much easier on the eyes and more energy efficient. Lenovo empowers teachers and administrators to easily and flexibly integrate virtual reality into their curriculum. This leads to inspiration for students, it leads to their engagement, and it leads to meaningful learning outcomes. With our VR Classroom 2, we offer a complete solution, a seamless combination of both hardware, content, and device management, training, and support for teachers. It's designed specifically for middle and high school age students. With VR Classroom 2, teachers and students can create their own content to use in the class. This adds flexibility and empowers people to become makers. They can do 360 photo and video and virtual environments. We upload the content into Think Reality and deploy it to the headsets and use LAN School Air to simply launch the experience. We've partnered with DevClever for virtual interactive careers training, Wild Immersion for wildlife experiences, and other classroom experiences that are remote. We've also partnered with Viative with curriculum mapped VR content. Through the Think Reality device manager, there's the ability to manage the devices. Using Land School Air, the teacher can control the devices so they can dictate what's being seen and direct students through their lessons. One of the key changes that we've seen with the shift to hybrid learning is how schools and universities are trying to understand how they can maximize the devices that they've deployed and maintain the educational continuity that students require. We're helping with our hybrid classroom portfolio that you see here. We're taking our leadership role in commercial and adapting it to the classroom. Our goal here is to help drive immersive, collaborative, and connected environments where both the teacher and the students are benefiting. With these offerings, the teacher can still be in the classroom setting with tools that they are accustomed to, and students can still be participatory with both the teacher and their classmates. With the ThinkSmart Hub and the Logitech Rally Room Kit, the teacher has the ability to control the classroom and ensure participation and interaction from their students, whether those students are in class or remote. In this configuration, the camera can focus on the instructor, a group of students, or an interactive whiteboard. On the other side, we've just launched our Google Meet Series 1 Room Kit from Lenovo. This is an offering that we developed in partnership with Google. The kit consists of a smart camera, a controller, a compute system, a smart audio bar, and mic pod. One of the key differentiators of the Series 1 Room Kit is that it is one of the first to employ Power over Ethernet. This means that we can have the networking cables also power each of the different components. This means fewer cables, less clutter, and easier installation. Schools can even mount a Series 1 Room Kit on a cart and move it between rooms so it can be shared. The system features technologies like advanced noise cancellation to offer the best possible sound experience and smooth pan and zoom through the 4K camera. As you can see in this illustration, the ability to have a hybrid environment with a ThinkSmart hybrid classroom allows the teacher to be in class with some of the students while others are joining remotely. This allows schools to have A/B schedules where for some weeks, some students can be in class and some students can be home, and then they can reverse and the B students can be in class and the A students can be at home. Or if all of the students have to be remote, the teacher can still come to a clean class and be in an area that they're familiar with, that the students are familiar with, and be comfortable with their teaching because their resources are in place. So really this type of portfolio that we have allows for greater maximization of teacher resources, student resources, and school resources. At the same time, we understand that world-class hardware is not the only requirement for our customers and partners. And that's why we focused on building a software portfolio that helps bridge the distance learning gaps. Whether that's helping with security, class management, or instructional resources, we have a portfolio that can help. As we look at cybersecurity and student safety, we have partnerships with Absolute that can help track and manage device fleets, allow for endpoint security for student and staff devices, provide data about device health. SentinelOne, with the rise of cybersecurity attacks against schools and against students, it helps combat malware, ransomware, and phishing attacks, and can employ AI to protect devices with a one-click rollback to a clean state. We have partnerships with FileWave for multi-platform support with end-to-end software management and mobile device management, and BufferZone for safe browsing for students, endpoint isolation, and ransomware prevention. We have partnerships with Land School and Lightspeed that are platforms for device management with content filtering and analytics to support on apps, determine return on investment, drive effectiveness, and ensure device and student safety in real time. Collaboration tools with Microsoft Teams and Google Meets, as well as partnerships with Exploros. That's designed for schools that are really seeking robust instructional resources to get students engaged both at home and in the classroom. I spoke earlier on Viative with STEM and CTE instruction through VR. And then digital creation tools from Google's Creative Suite that allows for students to collaborate and create and share their ideas both in and out of the classroom. As we move forward, we're seeing greater opportunity for IoT in education. One of the key goals for Lenovo is to support a safer return to schools long-term. We're partnering with key technology leaders to use IoT to help students and teachers get back in the classroom. We are looking at how we respond by controlling who can get into facilities, how we manage their behavior within schools, and then how students can respond to incidents once they occur. One of the key ways we're doing this is through temperature screening. We have partnerships for Back to Campus that can help reduce risk by checking for fever at entrances. It helps identify individuals that may need further screening and encourage population to follow defined processes, e.g. self-quarantining or reporting to a health clinic. This can help reduce the risk of infected people entering schools. All that happens is individuals have to look at a camera and they get a pass-fail indicator. These cameras focus on tear ducts versus foreheads for the most accurate temperature readings. At the same time, we're looking at things like safe classroom monitoring through sensors that monitor classrooms and spaces that observe areas where risk mitigation may become necessary. We can track hotspots, understand where people are in classrooms, maybe above capacity, and looking at seating proximity by desks. This helps identify areas that may need to be cleaned more often based on occupancy. And these are connected via cellular, so there's not a need for Wi-Fi access, and there's no personal information that will allow for people to be identified. So essentially, this remains anonymous, but allows you to know where hotspots are, where people may need to be identified for cleaning, or rooms need to be identified for cleaning, and where maybe some adjustments need to be made in terms of the infrastructure to allow for greater distance. As we move through this transition in the coming months and years, the impact of accelerated learning models will remain. And while the traditional education experience, rich with face-to-face, will remain, the need and demand for more flexible instruction is not going to disappear. Providing more equitable access to education in conjunction with high-quality synchronous experiences is key. I want to thank you for your time today. And we at Lenovo look forward to working with you to drive a smarter way forward in education. Thank you.